Why women desire Stoic men. Secrets of Stoicism that attract 99% women. Psychology tips. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. There's a rare kind of man. He doesn't rely on flashy cars, charming words, or wealth to capture attention. He's not the man who always says the right thing or does it all for the show. No, he's different. You won't find him in the latest dating book, and he's not trending on your favorite podcast. And I promise, your friends won't be whispering about him either. But the men who truly understand this, the ones who live by the principles of Stoicism, hold a unique place in her mind, a place where they're irreplaceable. These men are the ones she thinks about when no one else is around. They've mastered something most men overlook. It's not that other men are ignorant, they're simply chasing after the wrong things. You don't need to have the perfect physique or a dazzling smile. What you need is a shift, a simple realization that will transform the way you approach life. And when that shift happens, you'll feel it in your core. I'll be honest though, this message isn't for everyone. Most will scroll past. Most always do. But if you're the kind of man who's ready to rise above the superficial and dive into something deeper, then this is for you. If you're ready for change, ready to move past the surface level games, leave a comment below. I'm in. Show the world you're not here to play small. You're here to evolve. Sign 1, the man who doesn't flinch. There's a rare type of man, not the one with the flashy car, the endless compliments, or the constant effort to win attention. No, it's the man who doesn't flinch, the one who stays grounded and unbothered, no matter what life throws his way. He's the man who knows himself, who doesn't feel the need to seek validation. And this is the kind of man that women desire. She's met charming men, wealthy men, and men who try to charm their way into her heart with every word they speak. But the man she can't forget, the one who lingers in her mind, is the one who didn't flinch. Not when she tested him, not when she tried to push him away, not even when she ignored him. His calmness, his unshakable presence is magnetic. This is the man who becomes unforgettable because he doesn't let his emotions control him. He's anchored in himself, and that's exactly what attracts her. It's not about being aloof or indifferent, it's about being secure in your identity. It's about being so comfortable with who you are that you don't need anyone to confirm it for you. That's power. And power, when paired with calm, is irresistible. This man doesn't chase approval. He doesn't mold himself to fit her mood. And most importantly, he doesn't apologize for being himself. You see, too many men lean in too quickly, trying to win her over by complimenting her, guessing what she wants to hear, or putting on a show. But she doesn't want a show. What she craves is authenticity, stillness, and emotional strength. She wants a man who isn't afraid to stand firm in his values, in his purpose, without needing to perform. A man who doesn't need her approval to be content. Picture this. You're sitting in a cafe and she walks in, radiant and full of life. Every eye is drawn to her. She sits nearby and your heart might skip a beat, but your body doesn't react. You stay present, grounded in the moment, no overanalyzing, no desperate attempt to win her attention. You simply are. And she notices that. She's used to men orbiting around her like planets around the sun. But you're the sun, unwavering and still. It's this grounded energy that draws her to you, making you unforgettable. One of my friends, Mark, once shared his experience with me. He met a woman at a seminar, stunning and confident. Instead of flirting or trying to impress her, he simply asked, "What brings you here for real?" No performance, no ulterior motive, just curiosity without need. That simple question cracked her open. They ended up talking for hours, and weeks later she told him, "You were the only man in that room who didn't try to sell himself." The secret to attracting women isn't in the chase. It's in your ability to remain still, to be present, and to be comfortable in your own skin. Women aren't drawn to performances, They're drawn to men who embody strength without effort. These are the men who get into their minds and stay there. It's not about being indifferent, it's about being secure. And that's what the Stoic philosophy teaches us. Psychology tips. The power of presence cannot be underestimated. Women are more likely to remember and be attracted to men who don't flinch, who remain calm under pressure, and who don't rely on superficial tactics to win affection. Love advice. The most powerful attraction isn't about trying to impress. It's about being impressed by the woman's true character and treating her as more than just an object of desire. It's about being grounded, being emotionally resilient, and being fully present in the moment. Dating tips. Stop trying to win her approval or change your personality to fit her desires. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself and allowing your natural presence to shine through. Women are attracted to confidence, not arrogance, stoicism, not performance. Sign 2, the mirror. Have you ever met someone who truly sees you? Not with judgment, not with analysis, but with pure presence? That's what we call the mirror. The Stoic man, the one who embraces the true essence of being present, doesn't perform. He doesn't boast or self-promote. He doesn't scramble to impress with flashy stories or charming words. Instead, he simply reflects. In today's world, most men are caught up in a performance. They talk about their achievements, their material possessions, their wins, hoping that in doing so, they'll win her approval. They pitch themselves like a product, desperately seeking validation. But here's the truth. Women are not looking for a pitch. They are looking for something deeper. They want connection, understanding, and genuine presence. This is where the Stoic man stands out. The mirror doesn't pitch. He listens. And not just listens, but listens with intent, with focus, with care. When a woman speaks, the Stoic man doesn't interrupt her with his own ambitions or try to fix her problems with advice she didn't ask for. He creates space for her, space to express herself, to be heard, to be understood. You must learn to be present. The mirror doesn't need to dominate the conversation because he knows that true intimacy is built in silence, in the moments of pure connection. In that space, she breathes, she feels seen, she softens, and in that softening, she opens up to the man who has given her this gift of understanding. Let me tell you a story about this. A woman once shared her experience at a networking event. It had been a long day, heels were aching, her mind was exhausted from talking about a project that had kept her up for 17 hours. Now, most guys at that event would have jumped in with their own stories. They would have talked about how they run 3 companies and barely get any sleep. They would have turned the conversation toward themselves, but not him. Instead, this man, with calmness and depth, simply said, "That sounds brutal. Is it really worth it to you?" No performance, no judgment, just curiosity. And with that simple question, he made her pause. He made her reflect on things she'd been avoiding for years, questions about her life, her choices, her purpose. That's what the mirror does. He doesn't just hear her words, he listens to her soul. Attract women with presence, not performance. The way to a woman's heart isn't through stories of success or superficial charm. It's through showing up as you are, without the need to prove yourself. Women are not searching for a man who can tell them what they want to hear. They are looking for the man who can create a space where they can express themselves freely, knowing that they will be listened to and understood. In love psychology, this is a key element of attraction. A woman doesn't want a man who performs for her attention. She wants a man who makes her feel truly seen. This is one of the biggest relationship goals you can achieve, to not only attract her, but to make her feel safe enough to open up, to be vulnerable, to connect on a deeper level. So remember this, be the mirror. Don't try to sell yourself, don't perform. Just show up, listen, and be present. The right woman will recognize the depth of your presence, and that will draw her in effortlessly. If you want to truly attract women and build strong, meaningful relationships, this is the secret you need to understand. The Stoic man isn't just a master of himself. He is a master of being present for others, especially for the one who matters most to him. This is the kind of man who becomes irresistible, not because of what he says, but because of the way he makes her feel when he's around. Attract women, achieve relationship goals, and understand love psychology by embracing this Stoic truth. To truly connect with others, you must first connect with yourself and then create the space for others to do the same. Sign 3. The storm in his calm. The modern Stoic man commands a presence that doesn't shout for attention, yet his quiet strength is magnetic. When he enters a room, there's no dramatic flair, no exaggerated gestures. He doesn't need them. There's an intensity in his calmness that speaks volumes. This is the type of man women find irresistible, not because he's flashy or loud, but because he exudes a profound, unshakable stillness. His eyes hold tension, his words carry weight, and his silence is louder than many others' speeches. It's the storm within him that is kept under control, and this control is exactly what draws her in. As the old Stoic philosophy teaches, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The modern Stoic man embodies this wisdom. His internal world is where the real strength lies, an emotional composure that allows him to stay unmoved by external chaos. He doesn't react impulsively. While many men may crumble under pressure or try to over-explain themselves to win approval, he remains steadfast. His stillness doesn't mean weakness. It means his strength is rooted in his ability to stay present no matter the external turbulence. He's comfortable in his own skin. He doesn't need to chase. He doesn't feel the need to prove anything. He stands firm in his own identity. Women, particularly, are drawn to this rare trait. It's the contrast between men who are emotionally volatile and the man who is steady that makes him intriguing. It's not that he suppresses his emotions, it's that he lets them flow without being swept away by them. He's not indifferent, but rather deeply present. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The modern Stoic man understands this principle deeply. He doesn't let emotions govern him. Instead, he allows them to be, without letting them define him. His ability to maintain this equilibrium is a beacon in a world that often seems to favor the loud and the desperate. But why does this calmness, this presence, attract women? Because in a world of emotional chaos and fleeting connections, his steady presence is a rarity. It's rare for a man to not only be able to control his emotions, but to hold a space where the emotions of others can exist freely. He doesn't seek to fix or manage her feelings. He allows her to feel, and in doing so, he shows that he is emotionally mature and capable of being the rock in the storm. This is the essence of Stoicism, control over the self. In the context of relationships, this principle is not about suppressing emotions or being cold. Rather, it is about understanding your own emotional state and not being at the mercy of it. The Stoic man embodies this understanding in every aspect of his life. Whether in work, in relationships, or in moments of stress, he stays composed. But this isn't to say he is unfeeling or detached. On the contrary, his emotional control allows him to connect more deeply with others. His calm is not a shield, it is a form of connection. He gives others the space to be themselves without feeling overwhelmed by their emotions. This ability to be present without being swept away is something that draws women in. It's not about perfection, but about the courage to remain grounded when everything around you is shifting. So, what does the Stoic man do? He stands. He remains unshaken by life's storms. He doesn't fold under pressure. He doesn't try to manipulate or force things to happen. He simply is. And in a world that thrives on chaos and uncertainty, his calm is a beacon of security and confidence. For those who seek to embody this Stoic power, Remember that true strength comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher and Roman emperor, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The modern Stoic man knows that it is his internal world, not external validation, that defines his peace. And this rare form of tranquility amidst a world of noise is what makes him utterly irresistible to women. In modern life, it's easy to get caught up in the chase, in the rush for external validation. But the old Stoic wisdom teaches us that the key to attraction, love, and emotional connection is not found in the noise, but in the silence. Be like the Stoic man, strong, unshaken, and present. Your calm will speak louder than any words ever could. Sign 4, the man who walks away. There's an undeniable power in a man who isn't afraid to walk away. This power doesn't come from anger, manipulation, or some grand gesture. It's rooted in his deep understanding of peace and the price it demands. When a man walks away, he does so not out of frustration, but because he values his peace and knows that nothing is worth sacrificing it. This man doesn't feel the need to win every argument, nor does he crave validation or prove his worth. Instead, he simply knows when it's time to leave, and that knowledge speaks volumes. This man understands a fundamental truth. He doesn't need to stay where he's not respected. He doesn't argue, he doesn't raise his voice, and he certainly doesn't resort to insults. In fact, he doesn't say anything at all. His actions are what carry the weight of the moment. He stands up, nods, and walks away. It's that silence that is far louder than any verbal confrontation. It leaves a void that no words can fill, and that void speaks to her in a way nothing else can. This silence, this departure, doesn't come from a place of cruelty. It isn't about making her feel less than or forcing her to beg for his attention. It comes from a place of self-respect, of knowing his worth, and recognizing when it's time to preserve his energy and peace. When he walks away, it's because he values himself too much to stay in a place where his peace is disturbed. And here's the real kicker. This behavior drives her mad. Not because he was harsh, but because he didn't try to make himself needed. He didn't ask for her approval. He didn't beg for another chance. He didn't hesitate, second guess, or try to convince her of his worth. He simply walked away. That kind of confidence, no strings attached, no desperation, is powerful. It's a rarity. And what is rare is unforgettable. Men, this is the secret that many of you miss. Women aren't drawn to the man who is constantly chasing, begging, or proving himself. They are attracted to the man who stands firm in his self-worth, who values his peace above all else, and who understands the power of silence. This is where true attraction lies. So if you want to become the kind of man who attracts 99% of women, embrace the art of walking away when necessary. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's not indifference, it's self-respect. It's not abandonment, it's an affirmation of your value. Psychology tips. A man who knows when to walk away is in control of his emotional state. He isn't swayed by external drama or the need to prove himself. He's already secure in who he is, and that kind of stability is incredibly attractive. Love advice: learn to value your peace over anything else. A woman who respects you will never take you for granted, especially when you show her that your self-worth isn't negotiable. Dating tips. In the realm of relationships, it's easy to think that you must always fight for what you want. But remember, the most attractive quality you can bring to the table is the ability to walk away when the situation calls for it. Trust yourself, trust your worth, and watch how everything around you shifts. That's the secret to attracting women and creating meaningful relationships. When you stop trying to prove yourself and instead just are, that's when true connection happens. Sign 5, the man with presence. There's something extraordinary about a man who doesn't need to speak to be noticed. It's not about what he's wearing, nor is it about grand gestures or clever one-liners. No, it's the unspoken truth, his presence. This is the quiet, undeniable force that commands attention, not by chasing it, but by simply being present in the moment. Don't mistake this for arrogance or attention-seeking behavior. It's not fake confidence, nor is it about being the loudest in the room. Instead, it's a deep stillness, rooted in confidence and awareness. This man doesn't compete for approval. He doesn't seek validation from anyone. His value isn't shouted out loud, it's quietly emanated from within. And when he enters a room, the energy shifts. People can feel it, but they can't quite explain it. It's his presence. He owns the space without saying a word. Women are drawn to this. Why? Because in a world full of men trying to prove themselves, who talk too much, move too quickly, and reach too far, this man is different. He doesn't chase. He doesn't need to. Instead, he's centered. He's grounded. His stillness becomes his power. He doesn't need to impress anyone, least of all her. His presence is the line he draws. He's not there to win her over with gimmicks. He's there to be real, to be authentic. That's exactly why women notice him. His eyes meet hers, not with force, not with intensity, but with a calmness that is hard to look away from. It's not a gaze that lingers too long, yet it's unwavering. He's not afraid of what she might think. He's simply aware of her. He doesn't try to control the situation. He doesn't try to dominate the conversation. His mere presence invites a certain calm. And in that stillness, women feel seen. Not in a way that feels manipulative or forced, but in a way that is pure, in a way that speaks to something deeper. Women don't feel like they are being evaluated or tested. They just feel acknowledged for who they are. And that's rare. Why does this work? Love psychology shows us that the essence of attraction often comes from feeling seen and understood. Women crave depth, authenticity, and connection, things that go beyond superficial gestures. Men who embody Stoicism understand that presence doesn't just mean occupying space. It means being present in a way that creates a safe, calm energy. This is the opposite of insecurity or nervous energy. The man who has mastered this stillness creates a force field of calmness, making him an irresistible force. This is where the magic happens. Women feel seen in a way that makes them feel safe and valued. This is the key to relationship goals that go beyond just attraction. It's about creating a deeper connection. It's about trust. Trust that you're not here to impress or manipulate, but simply to share a moment of genuine connection. In the fast-paced world of dating, where so many men rush to impress, the man with presence stands as a calm anchor. And it's this rare trait that makes women stop and pay attention. So, how can you be this man? It's simple. Be present. Don't chase validation. Don't seek approval. Embrace your inner stillness. It's this centeredness that will naturally attract women and create lasting connections. Don't try to impress, just be. The more you cultivate this presence, the more you'll notice how it impacts your relationships, your self-confidence, and your connection with women. This, my friend, is the quiet but powerful force that draws them in and keeps them intrigued. In the end, women are drawn to men who don't need to prove anything to them. They're drawn to the men who simply are, the ones who are not trying to win them over with charm or force. It's the man who understands that true attraction is about being centered, grounded, and fully present. So don't rush, don't chase. Be the man who simply walks into the room, owning it with your presence. Let your stillness speak louder than any words could. Attract women by being your true Stoic self, and the rest will follow. If you resonate with this, comment below. I am the man with presence. Share this video with someone who could benefit from these timeless secrets, and don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Let's build a community of high-value men who lead with calm, confidence, and presence. Sign 6. The man who turns his pain into power. There's a form of strength that many men overlook, yet it's the very thing that women are instinctively drawn to. It's not about being invulnerable or showing off a tough exterior. That's a performance, a facade. The real strength, the kind that truly captivates, comes from the man who has been broken, who has experienced the depths of pain and chosen to rise. But not as a hardened shell of his former self. He rises as a man who has gone deeper, not harder. His journey is one of transformation, not masking. This man doesn't hide his scars. He doesn't pretend to be perfect. Instead, he wears them proudly, not as signs of defeat, but as proof that he survived, evolved, and conquered. His strength lies in his ability to embrace vulnerability. This is the mark of a true modern Stoic. As the old Stoics believed, the obstacle is the way. Through his suffering, he has found a way forward. He has been through the fire and emerged with wisdom, not bitterness. When he stands quietly, he exudes a calm that's not forced, but earned. This calm is not something you can fake. It's born of facing the worst life has to offer and continuing to walk forward. This man doesn't flinch when life gets tough. He has felt the deepest pain and found peace amidst it. That peace, his silence, is not absence, but presence. It speaks volumes louder than any words ever could. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This man has faced his unconscious self. He has confronted his pain, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. He didn't run from his darkness. He sat with it. He allowed it to shape him. And in doing so, he emerged stronger, wiser, and more attuned to his inner self. Women sense this power in him before he even speaks. They see the stillness in his eyes, the way he handles rejection without a trace of defensiveness. They know that he isn't interested in playing games. He doesn't get triggered. He doesn't react impulsively. Instead, he listens. He observes. He responds thoughtfully. This is the essence of a modern Stoic man, the ability to pause, reflect, and choose his response with precision and clarity. In a world that rewards instant gratification and emotional volatility, this type of man stands as a beacon of steady, unwavering strength. He's not afraid to feel, but he's not ruled by his feelings. He doesn't let emotions dictate his actions, nor does he let external circumstances sway his internal peace. This is the strength that attracts women because it's grounded in authenticity and self-mastery. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering them. The old Stoic philosophy teaches us that life will throw hardship our way. But it's not the hardship that defines us, it's how we respond to it. A man who turns his pain into power doesn't allow life's challenges to break him. Instead, he uses them as fuel to grow stronger, more centered, and more present. This is the true nature of Stoicism, not to deny pain, but to accept it and transform it into wisdom. As you embrace this Stoic mindset, remember, you don't need to be invincible to be attractive. Strength comes from facing the darkest parts of yourself and choosing to rise. It's in your scars, your wisdom, your calm in the storm. This is what makes you a man that women can trust, respect, and desire. So take a moment to reflect. What pain have you faced in your life? What lessons have you learned from it? Have you turned it into power? The modern Stoic man understands that this power isn't just for his benefit, it's also what makes him a strong, stable partner in life and love. You must embrace your past, learn from it, and walk forward with strength and peace. That is the way of the Stoic and the key to attracting the right kind of woman. Sign 7. The man who holds space for growth. A rare man understands that true strength is not about dominating or controlling, but about creating the space for growth and allowing things to unfold naturally. He knows that real power lies in supporting others, not in forcing change. He holds space for her ambitions, her dreams, and even her struggles without rushing to fix things. He doesn't seek to control or mold her into what he thinks she should be. Instead, he recognizes that her journey is her own, and his role is to provide the support and encouragement she needs to flourish. This man doesn't feel the need to be the center of attention, nor does he demand the spotlight. He doesn't chase validation or accolades for his actions. He simply offers a steady, unshakable presence that nurtures growth. Women are magnetically drawn to this kind of man because he creates an environment where they feel safe to evolve. They don't fear his presence. They find comfort in his steadiness, allowing them to express themselves freely without judgment. The kind of man who embodies this Stoic principle doesn't make women feel inadequate or pressured to live up to some predefined standard. He invites them to explore their own strengths and discover the potential they may not have known existed within them. In his presence, women feel empowered to pursue their passions, secure in the knowledge that they are supported, not controlled. This man recognizes that life is a shared journey. He doesn't impose his ideas or visions onto her, but instead nurtures her autonomy and encourages her to walk her own path. He knows that in allowing her the space to grow, he too will evolve. It's a partnership built on mutual respect, understanding, and the freedom to explore. The psychology tips here are clear. Strength is not about being a force that demands compliance. It's about being a force that invites collaboration and mutual growth. Women, particularly those who value emotional maturity and security, find this incredibly attractive. So you must ask yourself, do you hold space for others to grow? Are you willing to let go of control and allow those around you to become their best selves? This is the kind of man who attracts women effortlessly. One who encourages growth in others without needing to dominate or control. It's about offering love and support, not manipulation or coercion. This type of Stoic man doesn't seek attention, but his strength lies in his ability to remain present, calm, and grounded, providing a foundation for others to thrive. Love advice and dating tips often suggest that true connection comes from understanding and supporting someone's personal growth rather than forcing your own desires onto them. In relationships, this unspoken presence is what makes the strongest bond. Hey there, my friend. First off, I want to say congratulations. You made it to the end, and that alone sets you apart. Most men don't stick around. They get distracted, looking for easy answers, chasing shortcuts, and hoping for tricks. But not you. You stayed, you listened. You saw beyond the surface, and that speaks volumes about the kind of man you're becoming. You're not here just to attract. You're here to understand, to grow, to master the energy inside you so profoundly that women don't just notice you, they feel you. And it's not because of some rehearsed line or game. It's because your presence will no longer be forced. It will simply be undeniable. So, what will you do now? Now that you've unlocked the truth about what women really want, it's not perfection, it's not performance, it's power, earned from pain, shaped through discipline, and radiated from within. Stay true to this path, my friend. Master yourself, and everything else will follow. Keep evolving, and you'll not only attract, but you'll become the man others are drawn to without even trying. Keep going. You've got this.